Hey everybody, it's been a while, but I figured I've been watching a little bit more chess lately. I've been following the candidates tournament going on right now, and it gave me the itch to play a little bit more myself, so here I am. If you didn't catch the first chess arc we had, it was a lot of fun. It was coincided with some of the Queen's Gambit popularity. We played in a few Twitch rivals, which was a lot of fun. I would say we had a very good time. And then I just kind of burned out, played a lot. You do have to acknowledge, without being, rude about it, a lot of playing chess on the internet also is like getting backseated, which is fine. Some of the people have an elo that's higher than yours, and some of the people have an elo that is much lower. And that can be exhausting as well. Okay, so here's something interesting, okay? If I take and they take, well, they probably the way it would work, okay? I would expect that I take, they take, I'm put in check, I take, they take. Whose pawn structure is worse? I would be inclined to think maybe mine is a little bit worse, but I actually don't mind having this open file. So I'm actually gonna, if you want to, and plus I would have the bishop versus their knight. So if they want to take the trade and screw up my pawn structure, which they don't, then that's fine and there's nothing to worry about. Now let me think about this. I mean, again, if you want to do the trade, do the trade. Otherwise, okay, dude, honestly, I'm happy to have this open file. Probably, our pawns being non-contiguous is a bad thing, but never tell me the odds. Okay, I'll tell you it's immediately a bad thing. They have a very powerful knight here that's going to be difficult to get out. We're going to require moving our bishop, maybe. I'm not concerned about you going. Maybe I should be concerned about you going here. You know what? Let's put some pressure on quick. I actually love that we just have this spot open to us, because now I feel like I can push you. And I don't really mind anything about this, to be honest, because if they then go here, I'd be happy to just take their pawn. So we got to think about what comes after that. And I like the pressure we got on this pawn, but how are we going to get it? That's the real question. You know what I wouldn't mind doing? I actually wouldn't mind just screwing up their king side even further than it already has been. They do get an extra pawn out of it, or maybe, I don't know, maybe they do, maybe they don't. Ah! No, that's okay. Hold on. For some reason, I thought they got a piece for free. That's okay, probably. I would rather not take with the pawn, but we have to take with the pawn. Okay, well, be careful what you wish for, because now we got two open files. I don't know. I don't know if I embrace that move from you personally. I know you covered the pawn here, but then I got this son of a gun right here. I don't mind that. Who's pawn rich right now? It's a great question. It is. I don't really know the answer. Now, here's something that interests me, okay? My bishop here, their rook here, my bishop here. All of a sudden, I feel like that's a pretty powerful bishop. Not so bad. But now I'm realizing another thing. How am I going to get my rook out of here? Ah, okay. Actually, that was what I just did was idiotic. There was no intelligence behind this move whatsoever. Now my bishop has been pinned. It is now trapped. I'm not as smart as I thought I was. Is there any way? I mean, we could get a pawn out of it, but it opens this up so nicely for them that it's like almost worse for me. Yeah, I'm scared. Here's what I'm thinking, okay? Put the pressure on him here. We'll do it like this, then at least our pawn structure is slightly better than it used to be. Not better than theirs, maybe. We're down a lot of material. That is, that much is doubtless. Check this out, though. Maybe should be thinking about the moves a little more. I am way down on time, too, embarrassingly, but What are you doing here? Are you going to put me in check? Is that supposed to frighten me? Check supposed to frighten me? Let me think about this for a second. If I take, that's not good. Don't do that. Do this. Am I dead? Not dead. In fact, they need to kind of do something here because we have the back rank mate potential. And in fact, we also have mate here. I think they might have bitten off a little more than they could chew. I mean, this is not a great indicator of like a first game. I think we essentially got extremely lucky and were honestly outplayed in the mid game and then brought it back in the end game. But it's always nice to start on a win. What can I say? It's always nice to start on a win. Take me to the game review, okay? I do like to do the game review when I got a little bit more time to breathe on it a little bit. We were losing in the mid game without a doubt. We brought it back. 73% accuracy, okay. Start me with the analysis. Like the game review itself, I'm not totally sure about it. So good move, book move, book move, book move. That's a little book move. These are book moves. That's a non-book move. They prefer knight to e5. Duly noted, but I'm not worried. If I want to learn openings, I can learn openings. I don't need to memorize it via this. Let's find some good stuff here, okay? They like knight to c3 decently enough. They like knight to c6 decently enough. They love e3. They love e6. They'd prefer if I moved out there, but it's not a big deal. They don't really love bishop takes f5. Which is, admittedly, it's interesting. All the moves that I have that are not very good are ones we thought about for a long time and then said, well, you know what? Let's try it. They prefer a castle. Good to know. Okay. The position is pretty much even. We castle. They're like, that. Finally, he's done it. They castle. Okay, they hate this move because they think that the bishop should take anyway, which is probably true. It did screw up my pawn structure pretty badly. They prefer queen to d3. Best move. I take. Okay, game's pretty even, but black's in a better position. This is where their knights just went wild on me. I thought this move was not so bad. They want me to remove their knight as soon as possible. I'm sure they want me to do this, and then they're hoping that there's a trade. But actually, we would trade because the queen is under threat. Oh, no, queen to e6 they prefer. Okay, queen to e6. At which point, I probably wouldn't take. What would I do then? I mean, I might play rook to b1 then. Or am I stupid and this is just never good? No, they really want you to get the knights out of there because their knights are so strong. Okay. Honestly, we sort of reasoned that in the game and then just didn't do it well. Okay, knight to e4 is a mistake. What did we do after this? That's something inaccurate. They like rook takes b7 because it's a free pawn. That makes a lot of sense. This is the reason we made that move in the first place. Can we get to the part of the game where I do things that are positive instead of only where I make mistakes? They hate this. They say queen to b5. They love that. Congratulations. They love, hey, we're back a little bit. They hate it. That's a blunder. Why is this a blunder? That's a good, because it lost them almost 2 pawns. Now they want me to do this. No, they want you to do g4. I do need to say, I suppose I'm a little rusty. I imagine that they would probably take. They'd play b6. Okay, they're getting in the weeds, man. I don't know about all that. They're like, this is a blunder. It's just nonstop blunder. What are you doing? It's a mistake. Good move. Good move. What are you doing? Horrible move. Yeah, okay, we're back in it. Terrible move. They do like this, though. They liked when we started to get a little creative. No, that's a horrendous move. We're even if we do bishop to c5. That's interesting to me. Because, oh my God. Dude, that's how rusty I am. I didn't even see that the rook has the bishop covered. What was I thinking? I was like, no matter where I move it, it's dead. Okay, you got to think a little bit more. That's not what I did, but anyway. Instead, I sacked a piece for no reason, and then continued to play questionable ball. What the heck are you doing? Incredible move. We're almost even. What are you doing? We're in the driver's seat. Good move. That's a forced move. What are you doing? And then mate in 1. Okay, well, I would say nobody's probably like particularly thrilled with how that game went down. I won, and I'm still not that thrilled with how that game went down. But hey, it's always nice to start on a win. My openings are so bad, by the way. I don't even really know what I play. I tend to throw out like a knight to f6 at some point. That's for darn sure. Maybe at this point we follow it up with a d5. From this point following, let's play knight to c6. Very common move. Let's cover this large diagonal here. And all of a sudden, I would say both of us have a fairly similar looking game. Would you do the trade? I mean, that's your strong bishop. I'm too eager to do this. Every time I do the analysis, it's like, what are you thinking? And yet, here I go again. I'm like, dude, I'm not even worried, though, because I'm like, that was your strong bishop. I still have my strong bishop. My sincere belief here is that I have the stronger position. We need to cover this pawn. There is a part of me that I'm like, okay, it's a knight-based game here. Do I take? You probably take with the bishop. No, I don't like that. Do I go here? Take. Maybe I like this well enough. Again, you don't have to be, perfect with it. It's 5-minute chess. I can't deny that I do have doubled pawns. But this is going to double their pawns if they take here, or if they take with the bishop. I was just going to say, then I'll trade the bishop with them and not even sweat it. We do have a problem. What are we going to do with our queen? No, it's fine. We'll open it up right here. I'm not concerned about this. You might call me crazy in this situation, and you're probably going to go here. So which means I need to cover this, because I'm going to have to take you down to here. Yeah, and that's fine. I needed to cover this pawn. I still don't mind it. Maybe I will as my bishop. Honestly, a stellar move on your part. Check this out. Break the rook, walk away. It was all intentional the whole time. Break the rook, walk away. Here's what I'm thinking. Probably this. Well, that's not how bishops move. This. Then, if they take with the knight, boom, our pawn structure is resolved. Not perfect, but it looks okay. If they don't take with the knight, then the game gets a little bit more complicated. Either way, we have to go here. Okay, I figured they wouldn't. We do have to castle at some point. Let's get that out there and save some time. Very interesting game, for sure. I think they're just trying to buy themselves some time here. Here's one thing I would say right off the bat. I don't want to get... This is a move that I want to do, but it gives them this pass pawn if I do it right now, because I would love the knight to just get out there. I could do this, but it just... I don't know. It doesn't feel that good. Just doesn't feel good. I really don't want to give him that pass. You know what, though? No, it's bad. It's genuinely bad. And yet, there's a part of me that's like, I got to do it. What if I do... I was going to say, what if I do it en passant style? You know what? I'm going for it. We have to make moves. It's 5-minute chess. Just have fun. I guess we don't have to give them a pass pawn. We could just have like an orphaned pawn instead, now that I think about it. I don't really want to free the bishop here. I still like our position. Like, I think we played relatively shrewd chess up to this point. Take, 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 take. Would love for this to happen. Would you love for this to happen? I'm going to guess the answer is no. They are free from the smothered mate, from the back rank. That was a shrewd move on their part. The problem for me now is, by the way, we could just, it's a tempting squeeze. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. A lot of interesting stuff going on here. I kind of like this. Because they can't, they could take here. We probably don't take. We just leave the, maybe we even take with the bishop. I got to think. No, I don't have time. Okay, I'm playing coward ball then. Here's what I'm thinking now. If you take, okay, you're going to take that way? Interesting. I'll take. That's fine. You take, I take. Because if you push, fair enough. I'm stupid. Why didn't I? Literally, the whole reason I did that was to take their bishop. That's a blunder. Oh, you're going to get back ranked, mate. Oh, really? What about the world's greatest bishop? What are you doing? Are you just time stalling me? Is that your play, to time stall me? I only have 52 seconds, but we are in a good spot. Hear me out. I'm scared. Hear me. I got 40 seconds. Hear me out. Hear me out. I don't know. I'm just gaming. You should go here. That's your best move. Then I go here. You take. It's a lot of pressure on this rook, don't get me wrong. And plus I only have 26 seconds left. I really wish you didn't make the best move, though. Would have saved me a lot of heartache if you just didn't make the best move. We knew that was coming. Eep. I know what I got to do. Make a move that gets you to safety. 11 seconds. We're going to lose on time. Without a doubt. There is no alternative. So next step, I'm going to protect my rook. Or sorry, I'm going to protect my bishop. So I can move my queen. My rook! I should have protected my rook when I said I was going to protect my rook. Okay, I'll resign this one. You got me. Let's be honest. That was a poorly played game in all aspects. I would expect it to get more poor, or be poorer for a longer period of time as we get back in the swing of things, okay? I got a lot of muscle memory to rebuild here. Let's go through the in-game analysis this time instead of the in-game game review. It's all right. Take your time. Calculate. You don't need to put the whole supercomputer on this. It was a game between two 1400s. You don't need to send the strongest stockfish team you've ever seen in your life to do this. Are you doing the thing where the loading screen just sends you text in a while loop over and over, but is not actually contributing to, it's not indicating where you are in the process? Okay, in that case, That's fine. We don't need to do review for that one. The supercomputer is probably busy right now trying to evaluate why I didn't take so many of the free pieces after I mentioned taking the free pieces. Finally, the rare E4 player. It happens. Everybody in the modern era, for some reason, they're all D4 players. I don't know. When did we stop loving attacking in favor of these, Magnus Carlsen positional nightmare games? I couldn't tell you. I'm quite tempted to close you in, but the problem is it also closes me in. I'd rather my bishop had like a place to go, you know? What are you going to do? This move, queen to b6, always throws me off. So I feel like it's a good idea to do it to our opponent and throw them off instead. Because like we put pressure on this pawn if they move the bishop to cover. They did not move the bishop to cover. Okay, so there's a part of me that then says you take and take. They probably take, and then I take. Perhaps we've won a pawn. And we've got this beautiful discovered check on the king I didn't even consider. Holy cow. Mind you, it doesn't get us too much in this situation. It's not like we could really capitalize, but, we kind of sneak in like a spare move or something like that. I mean, obviously, if they don't resolve the knight, well, then we got to think. Well, because there's a part of me that's like, what if they move bishop here? Well, then we probably take here. They take with the queen to cover the bishop, and then we take on b2. Still something. They resigned? They abandoned the game? Okay, well, I'm not going to... Let's at least see where we were, like what the position was like. I think we might have been up by like 1. It's not... I'll take it, don't get me wrong. The same way that I only ever want to evaluate like a win, when you play chess, your wins always look like gimmies, and your losses always look like, oh, that was the only real game you played. Okay, start my review. You're in the Caro-Kann defense. I knew that. I have a 55% win rate with it, apparently. That's it? That's the only thing you got to touch on? How were we after this? We were half a pawn up, because we're playing as the black pieces. Where should we go from here? I think, honestly, this is fine. Apparently not. No, it's totally okay. That's a very reasonable move to expect, at which point we would take this. Oh, they prefer to crank up the danger a little bit, at which point they probably do this. Or they just, well, I don't know. Honestly, it's getting a little complex for me. Well, it wasn't exactly a banner start, but it could be worse. I hope you've enjoyed the first episode of us coming back with chess. As always, things pop up. There might not be an episode every day or every other day. I'm getting them out as I can. Let me know how you'd like them, and I'll see you next time. See ya.